It is your moment, my friend. Chomper, it's time. Are you happy about that? I'll take that as a yes. And... Oh, a monster fish, an albino pacu. A1A Adventures fam, what's up? It's been a while, we know, and we've been up to a lot of different things, a lot of different updates, so let's get right into it. From some small new additions, but not limited to setting up a small mini planted tank, just finished a huge fish tank stand, assembling that is, and what was here before has now been relocated to where the baby bass was before, which is our little saltwater molly tank. And about the bass, so we had to relocate the bass. I gave it to a friend. The bass is absolutely extremely healthy, and maybe in the future we'll be able to do some vlogs showing you the progression of the bass and how big it's grown and how big it's going to grow. But we just have many fish, and we're also in the interim of shutting down my business. We're closing the barbershop, so we're going to be relocating a lot and resituating my whole life, basically. I'm sure you are aware, if you've seen some of our other previous videos, we do have a giant monster fish, an albino pacu, that is at the shop currently. So that is where, well, we're going to bring the pacu home. We're going to bring the pacu out of the shop, relocate its tank, make a whole new tank for it right here, which is what we're doing right now. After building this huge stand and unboxing this bad boy, we have a tank to set up. So right now we are in the middle of unboxing a top fin 60 gallon. Of course equipped with a nice illuminated LED lit top and all the other accessories. The full ensemble also comes with a heater and water test vial, that's nice. Thermometer to make sure that that heater works well. And a little fish net that will be not sufficient for this giant pacu that we are putting in this tank. For the smaller fishies, I'm sure that would work well. Now, top fin being more of your common cliche commercial branded tanks, such as Tetra and Aquaculture, is very, very good quality and easy to acquire at your local pet store or your local fish store. And it's so well manufactured that they have a very good glue system when it comes to their decals, which I'm using a little razor to kind of get all this stuff off before we set it up and add our fish. And a heavy duty, I must point out, caulk system they do use to seal to make sure that this is an anti-leak system. I love it. Boom! So we have the tank on top of the stand, but we have a major problem, and this must be addressed. When filling your tank up, it's going to get heavy. So you always want to make sure every single part, including the stand and the tank, are completely leveled and even to avoid cracking or breakage in the future, because that can be catastrophic to the fish, and it can ruin structure in your house, it could flood, it could be extremely detrimental to a happy aquarist. So I'm going to go ahead and point out something that isn't great, but it's fixable. We'll find a solution for it. So going back to here, you could see that's not good. This whole entire tank is actually wobbling, which means the stand is not 100% even on the bottom. Now there are little screwable pegs that do allow you to adjust the height, which we're going to adjust, and then we'll check it after, and if not, we have another solution. Just to check, of course, to make sure that it's not the tank. Put it on the floor and rocking it back and forth, it's not moving, it's stable. So it's definitely going to be this stand, and you know, it's not the most expensive stand by any chance, but by all means we are going to actually remove the bottom pegs just so it's flush and flat on the floor. Even worse. So whenever there is an uneven part under your tank, which once again it's very crucial that it is to avoid any cracking or splitting in the glass of the tank, you can always go ahead and get a cheap yoga mat. They are very pliable, very flexible, very giving when it comes to pressure, and they can create a nice cushioned surface for the tank to sit on. Also, if you don't have 95.5 hands to help you do this all at once, you can always just keep it flush, pull it tight, use some light duct tape really quick, set your tank on top, which we're about to do, and then remove the duct tape. Alright, so one down, one to go. The end result, without removing the duct tape, we'll give it a test and see. And it's not even moving. It's perfect. And so after removing the tape, you can even see there is somewhat of a sag in the middle of where it was, which obviously points out the pressure points are obviously on the corners, where it was required to have a little bit more of a leveling system to it. So you can, even if you had to, I mean, if it was very imperative per aesthetics and for the look, you can basically just do the corners if you want and cut out possible little mini squares just to cover the corner areas, but that's entirely up to you. Just trying to give and point out an option to make sure your tank is safe and ready to be filled up with water, gravel, all different types of media, decor, and of course, your fish. And the moment is finally here, Chomper. And it's a happy and a sad one because we are, obviously, like I said before, we are closing our business. So, well, we're moving it. So, but we're closing this location, which means we are bringing Chomper with us. So in the interim of cleaning everything out of here, we have to bring Mr. Chomper. Click your light on Mr. Chomper. And friend. Also needs a name. Bet you're excited, because I certainly am. Now, Chomper has lived in this tank for 2 whole years. This is a 30-gallon, and we are going, and it's a bow-shaped, which has that arc in the front, which adds a little bit of extra room, and we are going to the 60-gallon at home. And you're going to be able to swim back and forth, turn around, a lot more easier, because you are growing way too quick. And you as well over here, fish that needs a name. You are growing very quick too, and coloring up very beautifully on those fins. Now, Chomper also consistently is on a pellet diet, on a carnivorous pellet diet, and I also add little algae pellets in there for the other fish. As you can see, that belly is getting big. If you've seen our other videos as well as growing Dracania sanderiana, the lucky bamboo, that also has been thriving extremely well in here. But I am unsure if we are going to transport the live bamboo and leave it in this tank, or we'll move it to our new planted tank. All of this fish decor will be transferred to the new tank, as well as we are going to be using a lot of this gravel to cycle the new tank, and pretty much not even need to go through a cycling period, as everything will not be completely brushed clean to where it still has all that good live bacteria that has been building over a course of a 2-year period, which will help this tank completely just sustain the balance right away to be able to drop these fish right in. Okay, so first and foremost, we have to fill this tank up with gravel from some of the other tanks that we're shutting down, except we're not going to make this such a multi-colored gravel anymore. We're going to keep it aesthetically all one color, which is why we chose black, so it will resemble this planted tank, which will also be getting moved and expanded and having a big new tank as well for this one. And we're going to be adding new fish with Chomper. Oh, and I must point out, I'm very proud. We recently got just one little small frag, which is a small little piece of coral of Xenia, and it has multiplied already times 8 or 9 different new frags, and they are pulsating like crazy. This is one crazy healthy coral tank. If you haven't seen our other coral videos, make sure you check them out because they are awesome. An awesome tutorial as well if you're starting out a tank. So when starting a new tank and you're using gravel from another tank, these right here can be a lifesaver, a saving grace. They are called a filter mesh bag. Now you're going to use this bag to gather some gravel from your previous tanks, which you're going to use to leave on the bottom of your new tank to expand the good and live bacteria to help boost the nitrogen cycle safely and properly for your new fish. Ooh, that's a big bucket. We're going to need a lot of those. And also make sure to check your tap water levels before filling your tank up to make sure they are safe. In addition, of course, to making sure that you dechlorinate with a proper fish-safe aquarium product to remove all of the bad chemicals that already pre-exist in tap water. Here's the fun part. If you've seen our other videos, you do have to make holes in your new gravel bags, and then you're going to go ahead and run water through them and rinse them out. So cheers to the first gravel bag for Chomper's new tank. Beautiful, and just to show you, that was a 20-pound bag, and that completely and satisfactorily covered the whole entire bottom of this 60-gallon. Still with a little bit of room to give, because as we add water, it's going to move it around a little bit, but it still covers it at least a solid 3/4 of an inch to a full inch. So with the filter choice that we're still using the same filter that was previously on the other tank in this room. It doesn't clear it by about 1/4 of an inch on each side. So I'm going to have to go ahead and modify that with a wood burner kit and burn this plastic a little bit away, which we also have done in our other videos, modifying a fluval aquarium, but we're going to do that as well here. So I'm going to go ahead and just skip through that and burn it up. So we're going to need to remove about this much right here. I'm just going to mark it with a pen. So we have the gravel from the old tank, like I said, with all the coloration in it. So we just go ahead and put that into the filter mesh bag, and all that good bacteria from the already pre-existing established tank is going to spread in this new tank to avoid any bad cycling to happen, only good cycling and new chapters ahead. And now we must add the water. And we still have a lot more water to add. And before this entire tank is completely filled up, we also have, from the other tank, an albino bristlenose pleco that is going into the planted tank over here for now. Alright, so we finished burning off that little piece and modified the top, but here's the moment of truth. Will it fit? Alright. Ooh, flush. Perfect. Coming from the old musky tank that we are shutting down that had all that good gravel we just added to that filter mesh. So now that this fish has been fully and properly acclimated with the drip method. Okay. Can we get you to swim in this tiny net? Can we get you to swim in this tiny net? Come here. Nah. Gotcha. Okay. 1, 2, 3, whoop. Come on. Come on. You're stuck on here. There you are. Whee! Alright. This is only temporary. So enjoy this while this lasts for the next 24 hours, because we are going to be replanting all of the plants that haven't been sticking down, and all the apple snails keep eating them. So now that we have this whole entire tank filled up to the top, we added some filter media from the other fish tank. This one precisely, removing it from this filter, filling it up with the same water from that tank. And now this is a very big tank. So if there is a dead zone, this is a very powerful filter right here, but if there is a dead zone on this side, we do have a solution for that, and that's going to be a wave maker from one of our saltwater aquariums that should definitely help create a better flow system, but we're going to go ahead and plug everything in first, and then we'll check that out. Now, removing the water out of this tank into this bucket right here is to acclimate the first fish that we're going to be adding into our new aquarium upgrade. Alright, so we just plugged in the aerator. That looks great, except there is one problem. Now, each side of these has its own individual lighting system underneath here. They each have their own plug, each have their own switch. It lights up very nice and bright. However, this only came with one plug. So we're going to go ahead and have to contact either the pet store or the manufacturer to get the other plug. So do a box check, as we did, but not fully entirely. But that's okay. Now for the filter. Woo! Now we got flow. Okay, how nice. So we just contacted the fish store about this problem, and they said just come in and they're going to go ahead and give us a new plug, which is awesome. So on that second note, I have this right here that I wanted to grab and show you, because we are going to add this. This is the wave maker. It's a dual head wave maker. It's a power head. So we can go ahead and have adjustable current pointing to whichever direction you'd like in this tank. So it'll be a very good tool to have a good circulating flow going across this entire tank, rather than to this side have the flow being favored, as opposed to this side. It's kind of stagnant, as you can see. So now it's time to fish you out. Get it.
Oh.
Gotcha. First fish to be added in the new tank. So you know the drill. Drip, drip, drip. Alright, so now that we have the power head positioned and ready to go to be plugged in, to sufficiently supply this side of the tank with as much flow as the other side has, I must point out something for safety. You always want to have some slack that touches the ground or kind of goes downward before it reaches any outlets, due to if there's any condensation or any moisture that builds up on those plugs that they are far away from entering the electric supply. Hence, which is why I just fastened this little extension cord right here that we are about to plug this power head right into. Let's go! Where's the plug? Wait, there we go. Let's go! Whew! Okay, there we go. Flow achieved. And as previously mentioned, these are adjustable and they both have their own individual fans, so you can kind of direct them into whichever direction you please within your fish tank. Okay, you, are you ready to go into your huge new home? Got him. Woo! Free, where'd you go? Where'd you go? There you are. Find your new little spot. Beautiful gem. Don't worry, I'm gonna make your house nice and neat. We're gonna reposition all these rocks and you can have this nice little hide right here. All to yourself. There you go. Already enjoying it. So the pet store came through clutch. They gave us this. So this was missing from the box. It's a splitter, obviously, so we could have both plugs going into one. Not to mention, if you do notice the location of this outlet, it is right behind this wall, which is right under the filtration systems. In the incident that there was a leak, that probably would affect that right there. So in an attempt to keep it safe and keep it fire safe, we went ahead and got a weatherproof, waterproof covering for it. So we'll see how that works. Let's try this again. Now let's light this tank up in full force. 3, 2, 1. Awesome. There we go. So the whole entire tank is lit up, fully illuminated, both lights fully functional. We have a great flow going right there. And once again, we have our fish. Where's that baby? There you is. And tomorrow, well, actually towards the next scenes of this video, you guys won't have to wait. We're gonna have Chomper and our other fish added to this tank right here. So stay tuned, as this tank has only just begun. We have more tank decorations to add, and in addition to building a second tank that we're going to go ahead and transfer everything from Chomper's existing tank right now and completely revamp and expand this planted tank into that tank. Aren't you excited, Cheeto? I'll take that as a yes. Alright, so now we got that installed. It wasn't too hard, and it's sturdy. Alright. Alright, so we're here back at the shop, and it is your moment, my friend. Chomper, it's time. We are bringing you out of this tank, and we are transporting you back home. Alright, Chomp, so we got all your stuff taken out. Now it's time to get you out. Alright, and we also got your water filled up. That's where you'll be. I'm gonna bring you in this 2-minute trek home. Thank goodness we're so close, so you won't be in this bucket long at all. Oh, a monster fish, an albino pacu. Oh, gonna move you. Oh, oh, dun dun, dun dun. Chomper! You free. You okay. You're okay. You're okay. Now we gotta get you home. And now the other little baby. This is gonna be simple. And... Whoop, almost. Come here, come here, come here, come here, come here, come here. Perfect. On the way home we go. Are you ready to meet your new friends? Because we have 2 of them that made it home safe on that fast, quick drive to the house from the shop, and they're currently drip acclimating. Are you happy about that? Are you happy? I'll take that as a yes. Right? 30 minutes later, fully acclimated and ready to go. Let's go! Alright, little one who still needs a name. It's your turn to go into the new tank. Let's make this a simple and smooth journey. Right in. 1, 2, 3. Whoop! Okay, okay. There you go. Enjoy. Already found your home. Alright. Now you, Chomper. Since you were very stressed out before with that net, we're not going to put you through that again. I'm just going to go ahead and dump out about 90% of all this water, and we're just going to dump the bucket right in to the new tank. Alright. That was not easy. It was a mess. Put him in, hold him for a sec. Alright, okay. Okay, I know. That was stressful, I know. Goodness, that was not easy. Dumping that bucket into the sink, jumped out into the sink. I couldn't have the camera rolling. This was such a crazy adventure, getting this pacu in this tank. So now he's going to go ahead with all this aeration and all this good flow going on. I'm out of breath because that was very exciting, and Chomper is unharmed and ready to go and just acclimate and chill in this new tank. So let's let Chomper settle for the next few minutes, and then we'll check on back on Chomper. Already coming out for a snack. How you doing, pal? How you doing? And they are joined together. Whew, so this was a lot of work. So please, if you like this video, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to this channel for more A1A Adventures, fish content, and pets and animals at its best. Also, there's another part to this video. As don't forget, Chomper's old tank now is going to become the planted tank right next to it. So we are going to transfer everything from this tank and build a whole new entire planted tank. So time to clean up another mess. Isn't that right, Cheeto? Bloop bloop. So as always, stay adventurous. A1A Adventures.